Well, good morning from Fargo, North Dakota, and good evening down in Australia and all across the globe. Welcome to the call. My name is Dr. Kurt Visnick. I'm a chiropractor up in Fargo, North Dakota. I actually haven't practiced chiropractic now 10 years. 10 years ago, I was laying in a hospital bed, and they told me I'd probably walk again after a really horrible motorcycle accident that I was in. And that's what really got me looking seriously at the network marketing industry. And after having run a successful chiropractic business, I couldn't just get into any old network marketing company. I really had to find one that had products that I could wrap my arms around, products that I could talk about to everyone, everywhere. And it took me a little while to, number one, learn how to run a successful business, because it is different than running a traditional business. And the other thing is that it took me a while to find a company that I felt had the products that I really wanted to go out and promote with wholeheartedly. And so that's how I ended up here with Sisel with all of you. And I hope you're finding the same thing, that we really do have a rock-solid company that we all should be really proud to be a part of, and go out and share the mission of the Mowers of the company, and also to share the products with people, because we can make a big change in people's lives with what we have. Recently, we introduced the new product. It's called the A.G.E pill, A.G.E pill, and anti-glycation extreme. And a lot of people are having tremendous results. So before I really get into talking about, some of the nuts and bolts and things that I wanted to talk about on the call today, I just had a thought. Let's share some testimonials on what we're seeing. Trevor, if you could jump on the call here. I don't know if you're muted, but *6 if you are, and just share a little bit about what you've noticed.
Yeah, sure, Kurt. I've been on the A.G.E pill, on a double dose of the A.G.E pill for about 2 weeks now, and I'm really quite astonished. I wasn't 100% well when I started the A.G.E pill. I had a bit of a flu going on, unfortunately, but I got into the A.G.E pill, and the results, even though I wasn't quite well, I felt completely different, and it didn't take long. I initially it was, though I could see colours and that coming into my peripheral vision, and the blues and the greens initially, and I started getting quite clarity in thinking quite quickly. But I was just saying, just before we got on to recording the call, I was just saying to a couple of guys on the call that it's been a couple of weeks, and I'm starting to get an abundance of energy, and it's something that I haven't felt. I guess I could almost say it's almost like being childlike, I suppose. I seem to have that. It's not an energy you'd get like from like an energy drink. It's just an abundance of energy that just seems to be constant, and just doing stuff like all day and looking for things to do. I got a really good clarity in thinking. I can think really clearly. I feel really light on my feet. One of the boys at work dropped something. I just caught it, and Chris said to me, he says, "Geez, that was great reflexes there, Trev." And I was quite sort of surprised. I sort of surprised myself really too. So feeling quite good. I'm really looking forward to the next month or two down the track. So that's what's been going on with me, Kurt.
Excellent. Well, Katie, I know that you've had some great results. Do you want to share real quick?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, great. So I'd love to share. So I received the A.G.E pill, I think it was about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago now. And I will share this with people because this is my experience. Most people do not experience this, but some people may. But I am sensitive to B3, so I can get a nice and flush. And I know this because I've taken 4 Restores, got B3 in it, and the Ultramax, and I've had a flush from both of those. And that's where essentially what happens is your skin starts to feel quite warm, you get red in the face, and your blood circulation gets going. It feels a little bit like sunburn, but you drink some water and it passes in 20 minutes. But if you don't know what's happening, it can be a little unsettling. But then if you actually read about what's happening, it's really exciting because there's literally hundreds of articles about the benefits of B3 and what that does for circulation and heart and cholesterol and arthritis, joint pain, a whole host of things. So I really encourage you to do a little bit of research. So bearing that in mind, I decided not to start on the 3. I started with 2. And I made sure I was well hydrated. And the first night that I took 2, within about half an hour, I could feel the effects of it in a way that I felt my mind was clearer. I particularly felt an enhancement in mood. If anyone's heard me talk about it, I've been doing some YouTube clips on it, but I really felt a mood boost and, clarity of mind, like Trevor says, and stuff like that. So that was really awesome for me. And then as the weeks now we're into the second week, I even mentioned to Trevor today, gee, I feel even better this week than I did the first week. And I said to him, I'm not even sure, is this like a placebo effect, or is this because it's kicking in more and it's doing, supporting the body in even more ways because we're sort of moving further down the track and we're only up to sort of week 2. But anyway, then I've decided, I'm going to give it to my dog, Milo. So I've started a series called Growing Younger with Milo and Me, where I do like a 5-minute little segment each week. And Milo started on 1 age pill a day. She's 14 in a month. She's already been on half a TSX, the Triangle of Life, 5 meals of each super omega, and she eats a raw food diet. She's in pretty good health for her age. But I thought, I'll try her out on the age pill. So I started with 1, and then decided last week after chatting to Kurt, and he had spoken to Tom, based on the animal's weight, he said, you could have 1 morning and night. That would be fine. So I tested that out with her. And in the last week, when we went to the park, as soon as we got to the park, she took off over the hill running. Now, normally she just trots around, but this time she actually took off running. And I thought, oh, wow, did you see that? To my friend Alex, we said, yeah. And we said, well, it could be a coincidence, maybe because Buddy's not here this time, so that's the other dog. So anyway, then the other day she went to the park again, and this time she started chasing the ball. And she's never done that before. So I was super excited to hear that. So again, early days, exciting results so far. So we'll track her progress and see how she goes. And if you are interested, you can, follow me on YouTube and hear our updates weekly. So I'll be tracking that. So I'm really excited about this product. I even mentioned it to my chiropractor tonight. And I talked about how it supports biological hydrogen in the body and the production of ATP, and that there's been research with NASA and Harvard, and he said that sounds really interesting. I'm going to go look that up. So, just really excited about this product. I could keep talking, but I won't.
Well, excellent. What a great testimonial. And where can you find your video that you're doing with Milo?
So it's on YouTube. If you just type in Growing Younger with Milo and Me, it'll automatically come up. You'll find it. I'm featuring Milo, tracking her results, and then I just talk a little bit about what I'm experiencing. So I'm just going to keep a weekly vlog, so video blog, and that way it's a good reference so that, in 2 months, 3 months, 4 or 5 from now, I've got a sort of record of what's been happening.
Excellent. What a great way of doing it. What a great way of promoting, and everyone else can use your videos to promote their own business as well, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And anyone who finds any of those videos online, if you've got anyone that's a little bit tech savvy, by all means, download the video. You can upload it to your own channel. You can share it, post it, do whatever you want. That's, there's no problem there. You can, do whatever you want with it. It's, available really for everyone, because I just want to share the results, and it's really just to find out what happens, because really it's, as Tom says, we don't know for certain. This is all potential. They've shown in animal studies what some of these ingredients can do, but this supports those things in the body. We have to be very careful about what we say, and the best way that we can share the information is through testimonials and let people make up their own minds.
Exactly. If you do jump on and let me know, we've been just hearing some great. Oh, is there somebody there? Would you like to share your testimonial? Okay.
Yes, Will here from Brisbane.
Hey, Will. What have you noticed since you started with the A.G.E pill?
Oh, had a lot of things wrong with me. I've got no cartilage in my knees and arthritis in my shoulders and things like that. And on my knees, when I stand up from sitting down, they don't hurt anymore. I have a lot more energy. My thinking's clearer. And what I did notice that might help a lot of people is...
Excellent. What a great testimonial. Thanks for sharing. And it's amazing. I was looking at a testimonial online the other day, and a friend of mine from up in Wisconsin, she's noticing that her the gray roots of her hair is starting to get the darker color back that she had when she was younger. For people who are worried about that, I mean, isn't that just a great testimonial? Myself, you've heard my testimonial on here before. I just noticed that my memory has come back. I can remember things so much better than I was. I'm 55 years old, and I feel like I've got the memory I had when I was in college, when I was in my 20s, and I've got energy just to go. It's unbelievable. I mean, I can just go all day long. And yesterday it was 7:30, and all of a sudden I realized, man, I haven't even eaten today. And I went 12 hours without eating, not because I was trying, but just I got so busy with things, I just totally gapped it out, and I noticed that happens quite often, and even my food cravings is changing. But yeah, just more energy, more memory, and we're starting to see a lot of testimonials like that, and we're really, in my opinion, we're not gonna see the best of the best testimonials probably for 2 to 3 months after the product's been on the market and people have been on it for that long, because like you're hearing, I mean, these are the great testimonials. As it starts to clean the cells, you're going to notice it, but as it allows the cells, as it allows the stem cells to come back to life, to go to work, it's going to be quite amazing. The ingredients in the product, I don't want to get into a lot of science, because I think that people, when they're going out and they're sharing the information with others, sometimes they feel like they have to get way deep into the science, and you really don't want to do that. You don't want to give people a drink of water with a fire hose. What you want to do is you want to give them a little bit of information, and so I'll ask people, I'll say, do you remember your high school biology? And if they say no, not really, and they're you can tell that they really don't sound interested in science, then I just I say, well, we got a product that what it does is it gives your body the fuel that it needs to go and repair, and then the extra fuel that you have, your body can use as energy. wouldn't you like to have an abundance of energy and know that your body's repairing itself? And that's as simple as I make it. Now, if somebody says, yeah, I remember my high school biology and our high school chemistry, then I'll get into it a little bit more in depth. And I'll say, well, do you remember the Krebs cycle? Do you remember the ATP cycle? Do you remember those? Because I want to find out what they know. And if they know a little bit more, then I'll get a little bit more in-depth into it, and I'll talk about the nicotinamide riboside, which is the active form of niacin that Katie was talking about that's in our product. And we have a huge amount of the niacin with the nicotinamide riboside in the product, and that's the precursor for that's the active precursor for NAD plus, right? And nicotinamide adenosine dinucleotide. And what that means is that it's a molecule that's got an extra hydrogen on it, for those people who are really into chemistry, and that hydrogen, as we've heard Tom talking about, the hydrogen and water machine, the super high H2, that how much hydrogen is so powerful. It's the power of the sun. It's the power of all your cells. And so NAD plus is what the NR, the nicotinamide riboside, converts into. And then that is part of another cycle inside your body that converts it to ATP. ATP is adenosine trinucleotide phosphate. And what that is that's the primary fuel for your body. And so what we're doing is we're fueling up the body with all of this extra hydrogen. Now, again, I don't get into that with a lot of people because they didn't like chemistry, they didn't like biology, and so I just kind of simplify it, and that's what I suggest. But one of the things that I really wanted to cover this morning, but when you're building with the A.G.E pill, it's so easy, because what you do is you just start talking about the testimonials that you've heard. Talk about your own testimonial if you've been on it long enough to have a testimonial, and you share your stories. You just tell people, I'm really finding myself impatient when I'm working with other people, because I can think so much more quickly than they can. And if there's a problem that needs a solution, it's almost like that solution pops in my head so immediately, and I just want to jump in there and say, here, give me that, let me do it. And I really find myself doing that. I'm not trying to be funny. I really find myself doing that, and I can get things done so much more quickly than I could before, and not just because I have so much more energy, but because I'm just thinking so much more clearly. It's like someone took and removed all the fog out of my brain. And you got to remember that when we're talking about the product, the NAD plus, right? What the plus is the extra hydrogen, and your brain functions really, really nicely on hydrogen. It's the fuel of choice for the brain. And so I always tell people, if you can, take your A.G.E pill right away in the morning when you first get up, because your brain will use that hydrogen as energy, and it'll skip the whole using glucose. Because in the past we used to always, as physicians, we used to tell people that your brain needs sugar as energy. Well, now we're finding that hydrogen is a lot better form. So if you can skip the sugar in the morning and the carbohydrates and fuel your brain with hydrogen, it's going to make your brain go to work that much better. And so take your product and drink it down with a shot of Eternity, because the Eternity has the resveratrol, NAD plus, and resveratrol together are a powerful weapon to get the sirtuin genes working. That's the genes that actually repair the damage to your DNA. And somebody might say, well, I don't have any damage to my DNA. Well, you sure do. Every cell gets hit 10 times a day with DNA damage. And so if you can get your sirtuin genes operating the way they're supposed to with the resveratrol and the NAD+, which is found in Eternity and the A.G.E pill, you're going to find that you can repair the DNA that much more quickly, and that's a good thing. And then slug down a couple glasses of hydrogen water right after that, and you just got a combination for a start of a really, really good day. And that's kind of how I tell people, if they've got the hydrogen water machine, that's what I tell them to do, and it's just an excellent form. And you can go out and just, even if you want, share the A.G.E pill with people. Give them a couple weeks supply, or sell them a couple weeks supply at your cost, and say, here, use this. And based on the testimonials that we're hearing, it's just amazing. In 2 weeks, people are noticing, like Trevor and Katie and Will were just saying. I mean, in 2 weeks, they're noticing the changes that they're saying. And those people are going to come back and they're going to say, where do I get that stuff? Where can I get some more? And I mean, even the young people, I've got a friend of mine out in Denver who she gave her son a 2 week supply, and he came home and he had so much energy. Like the very next day, he noticed that he had just a super amount of energy, and his wife grabbed some, and then she started using up his 2 week supply, and he went back to his mom and he says, Mom, I got to get some more of that A.G.E pill. It's really working and giving me all sorts of energy. And so we're seeing all sorts of stories like that, and you can really build just a great business on that. And then point out to people, now take a look at the catalog of all the other products that go along with it. And if you go back, and I'll have Katie share where everybody can find that recording, but a couple weeks ago, we did a recording where we talked about using the other Sisel products along with the A.G.E pill. How do they all work together? Why do you still need the Fucoid? Why do you still need the Spectramax? Why do you still need the Brain Vitality? We went through that a couple weeks ago, so I'm not going to go through that again today. I notice it's 1:30. I want to try and keep the calls to half hour if possible. So Katie, if there's anything else you could add, and then if you would also give everybody the information on where they can find those previous recordings.
Okay, sure. Great. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, great. So I just wanted to add regarding sharing this information and sharing the product with others. I've found the most effective way, and if you're consistent with it, I feel that other people will have the same success, is collecting the testimonials. So if you are on Facebook, if you spend a little time and someone shares a testimonial, and you can follow Tom, if you're not already a friend, follow him, and he shares the testimonials all the time. And then what you can do is you can actually save them. You can either screenshot them, or you can, and then actually screenshotting is the best, because then you have your own copy of the testimonial, and then you can do what I've done, or you can even go and take what I've done and use it for yourself. I've created a public photo album called Testimonials of the A.G.E pill, and then what I do is that every day or two, I'm posting a new one, and it's going into that album. So, people tend to ignore stuff the first, second, third time. But by the time they're seeing, 6th, 7th, 8th testimonial over a period of time, and they're from different people, and there's consistent information and results coming in, they start to pay attention, and then it'll really start to get some momentum for you. So I really feel that's an excellent way to share the testimonials. So that's one thing I just wanted to share with people, and it's quite simple to do and worth spending some time to work out how to do that. And then the other thing is, in regards to what Kurt was talking about, previous recordings of the A.G.E pill that we've had discussions on, the companion products and all of that, there's a YouTube channel that's been created called Siselers Connect, Siselers Connect. If you type that in when you're on YouTube, it'll bring up the channel. And there's a whole bunch of, I'd say videos, but they're actually like audios with a screen, like a cover. And there's the recording from the previous week where we discussed companion products to the A.G.E pill. So they're all on there, and I might take a couple of days to get them up, but I am posting them consistently. And what you can also do is subscribe to that channel. So as soon as I post something or a new audio or video goes up, you'll get an email notification sent to your email address saying that something's been shared, and then you can go and watch that. You can share the link, you can post it on Facebook, you can email it, you can message it, you can even download it if you want to. There are programs that allow you to download and pull that back off YouTube. So that's for everyone there.
Well, thanks, Katie. I sure appreciate the fact that you're up, keeping everything up for everyone so they can go out and use this. You know, we do a doctor's call every Tuesday as well, where we talk a little bit more in depth on the science and maybe share a little bit on how the products help health-wise, so that people don't have to feel like they have to become a scientist. They don't have to become a doctor. They don't have to try and pretend like they're some kind of a healer. Where do people find those audios as well? I know you've done a great job of putting them up there too.
Yeah, so there's a website called siseldoctorclinic.com. And all those videos are on there in order of the week that they've been created. And you can just click on one of the recordings, and then it says, share link. And so you can share that link. And that website just says, it was Sisel Doctors, but it's Sisel Doctor Clinic because, well, anyway, we'll be able to use dual names. But it's siseldoctorclinic.com, and you can share that website or the videos on there. Again, they're in video format, but they are actually they're audio recordings with a cover slide on top of them. And so they're Kurt's and Daniel Whitehead, DW, and they do those each week. So they're great to listen to get a lot more in-depth information, and particularly for people who are interested in that level of detail, fantastic.
Excellent. Well, Katie, I had to bring that up because you do such a great job of keeping that information out there for everyone. Well, everybody, thank you for being on the call today. Will, Katie, Trevor, thanks for sharing your testimonials. Let's do that. Let's do that from time to time. Share testimonials, to make it so that people can go out and build their business around that. Have a great end of the month, and let's start working for really preparing for the new year. I mean, start preparing now. It's 121 days away, and I know that sounds like a long time, but it's going to be the snap of the fingers, and we're going to be there. And the work that you do today, it sets the stage for what's going to happen in the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months of your business. So let's get to work. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.